I'm very excited to be here with all of you tonight. I graduated from the Nicholas School in 1999, so it's been some time. My kids today reminded me it was a century ago. I'm like, thank you for that. But it's wonderful to connect with fellow Duke alumni, and it's wonderful to hear stories like Shannon's, and just to show how connected our communities are. The reason I got involved in environmental issues was the environmental justice side. Because when I used to go to the Philippines to visit my grandparents, I used to watch villagers dive into rivers that were polluted, heavily polluted. Yet that was their only way to provide fish and food for their families. And that got me involved in the social issues. And so I think it's kind of cool how tonight we're going to hear how things are so interconnected. But it's been a while. Like I said, in 1999 I graduated. For those prospective students, it was rather easy for me to find a job. I was a researcher with the think tank. I was a staffer with the Environmental Protection Agency. I did advocacy work for Natural Resource Defense Council. And then moved to California and became a local activist, and am currently a mayor here locally. And what was fascinating with every single position was that, as you can all imagine, there's always strengths and challenges with every position. But I was always able to use facts, I was always able to use science, and I was always able to use the problem-solving, critical thinking techniques that the Nicholas School really cultivated in their curriculum. We heard that a little bit in the video today. And so it's kind of odd now to be in an environment where we're kind of surrounded with alternative facts, intentional disruption. And for me as a mayor, there's a lot of political uncertainty with my job. Just today, I had to have a press conference on things I would never have thought I'd be working on, like immigration. But that political uncertainty is just what we're faced with on a regular basis. I think it's kind of ironic, though. What seems to be certain is that the federal agencies that will be responsible for protecting our environment will be downsized, and standards that we have learned to protect our air and our water are being reviewed and potentially weakened. And I'm assuming that all of you are equally concerned with what will happen with the progress we have made in the past 25 years. You know, this gets to me, and so I'm always thinking, in a difficult time, we're going to be okay. We've got to be okay. Our momentum can be sustained. But I truly believe that the only way for our momentum to be sustained is if all of us here remain engaged. I think we each have an individual story that we need to tell. There's a reason why we entered this field. There's a reason why we care. And I think individually and collectively, we have to make sure we find our voice and share what that story is, so that as we leave, there are people outside of this room that start to care and start to realize why a sustainable future is so important. And with this anniversary milestone for the Nicholas School, I really can't think of a better way to showcase the school's success than by showcasing what we have done and what we will do with our education. And I really want to focus today on what we can still do. And I'm going to use a couple examples within my own town of Los Gatos. I'm currently the mayor of Los Gatos. Any show of hands who knows of Los Gatos? Okay, I'm with my people. So it's 60 miles south of us. It's a town of 30,000. In Silicon Valley terms, it's home to Netflix. That's how a lot of our South Bay communities define ourselves. Our large neighbor, San Jose, tends to overshadow us. But what I find is we may be small in size, but we certainly make up in effort. And one of the most exciting projects that I'm excited to share about is the fact that we are doing things that do not require federal involvement and assistance. We're making sure that our public buildings are all LEED certified. But right now, electricity that is used to generate our homes and businesses, it creates about a quarter of our region's emissions. But starting next month, the town of Los Gatos will be powered by 100% carbon-free electricity. And that requires, I know, right? That's pretty cool. 50% of that will be renewable from wind and solar. Another 50% will be from large hydro. And then there'll be an option for residents and businesses that want to make a larger impact to go 100% renewable. And I chose for our town, all public facilities and utilities will be 100% renewable. And just feasibility-wise, it's the easiest, most economical way for my town to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions and improve our carbon footprint. And we were able to do this even with some of our non-believers of climate change. All we had to do was show them the bottom line. We made the energy rates much more affordable than standard PG&E, and we got 100% subscription. And so, initially we weren't able to do it, 30,000 residents. It's hard to create an organization with that. So we partnered with 11 other South Bay communities. Los Altos is a community member as well. And we're finding that by creating this new collaboration, it gives our cities the ability to choose where our electricity comes from, what our rates will be, keeping it affordable so that we keep all our customers happy and engaged, and ultimately we decide where the power will be generated from so that we can affect the social issues associated with that. It's the easiest, most economical way for us to secure a clean energy future. And it's something that we did without federal involvement, without federal assistance. And I share this example as something that we can do. It's something that you can still do. You have the power to generate a change in your own industries. So, I can't directly affect what's happening in Washington, D.C., but the message that I have tonight is stay engaged, get determined. The Nicholas School, they educated us to be leaders in our field. So let's lead, and let's continue to help the Nicholas School use facts, use science, and use problem solving so that for the next 25 years we have more environmental leaders so that we can all feel comfortable that our world will be in a better place. So thank you very much.